things, and I'm back with another nature themed dress and my first sponsored video. Thank you Cricut for sponsoring this video. I will be telling you more about them later on, but for now, back to the dress. This dress is actually made in about 4 days. I posted my designs to Instagram Tuesday night, and I think I started it Wednesday, and we just shot it Sunday. For anyone looking for a beginner project, this is actually a pretty good one to start with. It looks way more complicated than it actually is. When you break it down, it's really just like a gathered top and a pleated skirt. As for the design, there was nothing really like going on up here for it. It's as close as I could get to like putting a mushroom shape on my body. I just wanted it to look like the mushroom emoji. But yeah, with all that, let's make it. As with all of my dresses, I like to start with the petticoat. When I was first making this, I tried to be really fancy and I got like a mini hoop skirt and I sewed a petticoat, and in the end I just didn't like the shape of it, and I just ended up stacking 2 store-bought petticoats on top of each other. And I thought that way just looked a lot nicer, so sometimes it's easier to just like pick your battles and buy something than slave over a sewing machine for like 10 hours making a petticoat that's like 10 bucks on Amazon. So now that the base is done, we can move on to the skirt. In my brain, mushrooms have like lines going down the side, so to get that kind of look, I really wanted to do a pleated skirt. But since we have a petticoat under here and it kind of flares, we can't just do a normal pleated skirt or else it looks really funky. So for this dress, I needed to make a pleated circle skirt. So I'm gonna be real with y'all, I have never really made a pleated circle skirt before. This was my first time. I don't know if I did it right. I kind of just made it up as I went along and it worked. So sometimes you just gotta wing it. Basically, I just made a triple circle skirt, 3 full circles, and then I pleated it together with little wedge pleats. When you pleat something, it goes down to 1/3 of its size, hence why I made 3 circle skirts. I also really love the look of like these pleated skirts that you see, so I took a lot of inspiration from that. I sewed down the first 3 to 4 inches of each of my pleats to give it that really like cinched in look. And that's all there is to the skirt. You just add a little closure in the back and voila, it's a skirt. And the top is actually even easier than the skirt. It is literally just a gathered rectangle. I just took 5 yards of organza, I pleated it, like kind of guesstimating, no measurements, and then I just kind of guessed where I wanted the sleeve to be, cut it up so I had 2 little sleeve tubes, sewed those tubes up, and then you have your little sleeves. The top is seriously just a rectangle with 2 cups in it. And to gather the bottom, I just made a little elastic tube on the arm ends and one around the tummy. I also added a little bit of lace to the bottom of the sleeves, but you can't even see it in the final product, so it happens. To get that really big overhang look, all you need to do is just leave the sleeves longer. If you look at my sleeves, they're actually almost to my wrist, but when I push them up to my upper arm, it creates that little poof. So the big poofy sleeves in this case are just gathered sleeves that have just been pushed up high. Again, for the back closure, you can do whatever you want. In my case, I really like the look of a corset back, so I added like a little lace corset back. You could add a zipper, you could add Velcro if you wanted. Like, there's no wrong answer. And at this point, you have your base dress, you have your top, you have your bottom. You could stop here if you like. As it is, this is a pretty simple dress, so I decided to spice it up a little bit by putting some designs into the mushroom spots using my Cricut. And that's my cue for a small message about this video's sponsor, Cricut. So this is my Cricut. Cricut makes smart cutting machines, and the one that I am using is the Cricut Maker. This thing is absolutely wild. It can cut like super thin fabrics like chiffons, or like tissue paper, or cardstock, or even like EVA foam. But at the same time, it can also cut like denim, aluminum foil, basswood, leather, and even stuff like silk. So obviously it's a really, really cool, really versatile tool. It's definitely a big initial investment, but you can use it for a lot of different stuff. Cricut actually has a lot of interchangeable tools, so you can change up the blades, you can put a rotary cutter in there, you can put a perforator in there, you can cut, draw, score, emboss, do all that stuff with one machine, which is really cool. It also draws. It has like a pen holder, so you can actually draw designs, and you can use infusible ink to infuse the designs. My friend Official Hamley also made a mushroom dress, but instead of using iron-ons like I did, she actually used infusible ink pens to draw her own fabric, which I thought was like really cool. The other really nice thing is Cricut is super easy to use. It's kind of just a plug and play. It takes less than like 5 minutes to set it up. Cricut Design Space, the software which you make all your designs, it's available both on desktop and mobile, which I really like because I make all of my designs on my iPad. So it's really convenient because I can draw on my iPad and then either cut it from there or save it to the Cricut cloud and then access it on my computer, and it just makes it like really, really convenient. So I've actually had a Cricut for about 4 to 5 years now, so I can solidly say that I really like this product and I use it a lot. Whenever I need like a stencil for a project or an iron-on for a cosplay, I use it a lot for cosplay. Wait one sec. I actually made my Christmas cards for this year. So like all of this was just cut on my Cricut. I designed it in Design Space. It's really cool. I really, really love it. I got real fancy this year with cards. But as for this project, I wanted more detail in the spots, but there was like no way I would ever find mushroom lace somewhere. So I used my Cricut to make like a fake lace or a fake embossed fabric using the iron-on vinyl. I started out by putting together my designs in Design Space. I got all my artwork from Etsy. I'll link it in the description below, but it was super easy to just import it and it already knew the cut lines. Then it's honestly just as easy as sending it to the Cricut, and the Cricut does all the hard work of cutting it out. You just kind of sit there and watch it, and then once it's done, you take it out, you have to weed it. That's when you pull out all the extra vinyl, so you're left with this nice iron-on decal. Once you got your decal, I use my Cricut Easy Press to heat press it on, but you can also totally use an iron. But once it's heat pressed on, you have your custom mushroom fabric. To create more of that like fake lace look, I also added another layer of sheer fabric on top, just to diffuse the look of it a little bit and to make it so it was a little bit more subtle, so it felt more within the fabric. But yeah, you repeat that process a lot of times until you have all of your spots. And with that, back to the project. Once I had my spots made, all I had to do was place them in a way that I liked, sew it all on, and then that's my top. I also used the extra vinyl I had left over to add spots to a red beret for a little accessory, and then I also whipped up a pair of mushroom earrings to tie the whole look together. And with that, the mushroom dress is done, and it's time for the fancy montage. I'm yours. And I'm so sorry it has been so long since I posted. More videos are on the way. I just keep making dresses faster than I can edit tutorials for them. This is what I've made since the daisy dress. I just haven't edited anything. But if you want more consistent sewing updates, you can always check out my Instagram. I try and post really regularly there. I'm actually working on a fiber optics dress right now there, so that's pretty exciting. A tutorial will be here eventually on that, but right now over there I'm posting my progress. But yeah, as always, feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. I'll get to as many as I can. I'll catch y'all next time. Bye bye.